From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, we've got late night Mountain West hoops. Drew Fielder and Boise State hope to get back in the win column against one of the conference's top scorers, Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn and UNLV. It's the Broncos and the Runnin' Rebels on Tuesday night in Vegas. In the Thomas and Mack Center, home of the 1990 national champions, it's Boise State and UNLV. Hi, everybody. Happy to have you with us. With Noah Bono, I'm Jack Gordon. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight, Noah, you got two Mountain West teams that want to play physical. They want to get up and down the floor. They want to beat each other up tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of who's going to get to the paint more, because these two teams, like you mentioned, are really physical. They both get to the free throw line a ton, but I think what it's going to turn into is who's going to be able to take advantage of the drive and the kick and knock down the outside shot more efficiently tonight.
Well, in a physical game, Boise State without one of its best players, one of its better shooters, and Javen Buchanan averaging over 11 points, over 4 rebounds a game. He's out with a lower body injury. So on offense, they might have to turn to their UCLA transfer, Dylan Andrews, for some more points.
Yeah, it's been an up and down year for Dylan Andrews coming from UCLA, but this is a guy that when he's enabled to make plays, he's a great distributor. He's had 5 games this season with 5+ assists. Okay, he can score the basketball when he's playing with confidence and in rhythm, so he's got to make sure that he is playing his best for this team.
Boise State solid in the half court. UNLV, they want to get up and down the floor. They want to play fast pace and turn defense into offense.
They want to kick you, punch you, turn you over, get in your chest, do everything they can to make you uncomfortable, and it all starts on the defensive end with that anchor freshman, Tyron Jones. Block shots, get into the offense on the other end. He's averaging over 2 blocks per game so far this year, but it's not just him. The front court of this UNLV team really makes a difference in their ability to get up and down and run out of those passing lanes and in transition.
Boise State has dropped 3 in a row. UNLV has lost back-to-back. Who's going to get on track first here in Vegas on Tuesday night? Only one city in the United States of America that has one of those. In beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Boise State and UNLV from the Thomas and Mack Center. We'll take a look at our starting lineups tonight. For Boise State, they're without Javen Buchanan, the senior forward, so replacing him, they go to Dominic Parolin, the 6'9" senior, making his second start. For UNLV, they've had mostly the same lineup all year long. Tyron Jones, he's starting in his 6th straight contest. Well, here's a look at Leon Rice, the winningest coach in Boise State history at 325 wins. There's a UNLV Runnin' Rebels, the squad that's 7-8 on the season, 2-2 in conference play. There's Leon, 325 wins. He's been to 5 NCAA tournaments and 12 20-win seasons. On the other side, Josh Pastner of UNLV, his first season at the helm. Spent 7 years at Memphis, 7 years at Georgia Tech, and now he's leading the Runnin' Rebels. Well, Boise State, they've dropped 3 games in a row. UNLV, they've lost 2 straight. Tonight's a big game to get back on track in Mountain West play. Tyron Jones for UNLV, Drew Fielder for Boise State up for the tip. False start on Fielder, and we do it again. Down goes Jones. UNLV has the tip with Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn. Starting possession for the Runnin' Rebels, their leading scorer with 16 points a game. With Noah Bono, I'm Jack Gordon. Thank you so much for tuning in on your Tuesday night. Gibbs-Lawhorn down the lane through contact, finishes for 2. He is just a really feisty scorer at just 6'1".
I like how fired up he gets right out of the gates after scoring a layup. It's good. Look at that energy.
I mean, 2-0 game. This is the national championship for him. He plays hard.
He's ready to rock on both ends. I love it.
Odds are we'll probably see him slap the floor tonight, too. He is a gritty defender. Fielder from downtown can't get a default. Offensive rebound, Boise State. Something they really excel at. They're second in the conference with 38 rebounds a game. Andrews for a mid-range J to tie it up.
Nice to see one go down early for Andrews, who's, you know, like we mentioned in the open, been up and down a little bit, but good to see one go down early.
Andrews, 16 points last time out, averaging 10 a game. He's struggled in the second half, the beginning of this season, really stepping up last game. Here's Tyron Jones, the long, lanky forward. Through contact, can't finish. And here come the Broncos. Throw it down low to Fielder, their leading scorer. Cross-court pass, Meadow. And this one rims out. Emmanuel Steffen snatches it.
That's just a nice blow by. The help is late, and then Dylan Andrews, smooth little mid-range J. We don't see a lot of non-rim twos for most of these college teams. He gets a mid-range jumper to go early.
Emmanuel Steffen got fouled by R.J. Keene on the rebound. Probably going to see a lot of fouls today in a physical matchup. Here's Meadow in transition through the 7-footer, finishes off the glass.
Well, that's Boise State getting their own defense to offense early on. You got to get these hands in the passing lanes and really disrupt these dribble drives to the rim that UNLV is going to be trying to get all night.
UNLV fell to Colorado State 70-62 on Friday. For that 32-point loss to Wyoming. Those are the 2 straight losses for them, so they're really trying to get back on track. Here's Howie Fleming Jr., who knocks down the 3.
We saw him in the gym about 45 minutes before their shoot-around, just getting a ton of shots up. He was working on his mechanics, his form, his release point, shooting fast, shooting slow. It paid off early, knocking down his first one of the night.
Fleming Jr., the 6th year out of Louisville, Kentucky. Boise State, they've dropped 3 in a row. Utah State was their last loss, 93-68. Inside, Dominic Parolin. Big forward against Steffen. Finds Fielder inside, who tries to finish with 2, but gets fouled on the way up.
Yeah, good job leaning into Emmanuel Steffen, who's prone to fouls, scoring that 2. And then that's just a nice catch and shoot 3 from Fleming Jr. there. Shoot it with confidence, baby.
A special 3-pointer for UNLV. This is a crazy record they have going on right now. 1,276 consecutive games with a 3-pointer for the Runnin' Rebels, the longest in NCAA history.
So what season does that go back to? 1920?
1824.
Okay, you're 100 years before me. Okay. That's ridiculous.
It's history in the Thomas and Mack
But now it's a lot of pressure. Like, you can't ever because it's a
what are you going to go 0 for 20?
Well, it's a 3-point shooting game. I don't know. I mean, they could have a game where they shoot 15 of them and they miss every single one.
Well, then the record ends.
Right. That's why I'm saying there's a lot of pressure. You better make at least 1 3 every single game for the rest of UNLV's eternity.
They're not worried about 3s, so they want to get up and down the court. Fielder knocks down the pair. 1-point lead for Boise State 3 minutes into this first half. Pass picked off by Parolin. Andrews holds on. Transition 3. And it's Fleming that rips down the rebound. Here's Gibbs Lawhorn in transition. He finds Hamilton, who connects from downtown.
What a pass there. To get it out in transition on that rebound. And UNLV was able to run a little bit, and then a beautiful job. I know he jumped off in the air, didn't play off 2, but Gibbs Lawhorn finds Kamani Hamilton. He knocks it down.
All right, I take it back. Maybe they will shoot some 3s. Fielder inside. Gets Steffen to jump and finishes after the pump fake.
You can expect to see a ton of Drew Fielder in the post tonight. You're going to be living in the post. That's what they want to do, is feed him, let him play off 2, find guys on the perimeter.
Yeah, Fielder, their leading scorer on the season, 12 points a game. Only had 2 last time out. Already got 4 tonight. Fleming from deep, off the heel. Rebound by Andrew Meadow. Meadow, the team's best 3-point shooter, 40% on the season. Fleming in the passing lanes. Can't corral that one. Andrews holds on. He finds Parolin on the roll. Swatted off the backboard by Steffen. Hamilton can't keep going in transition. He gets his pocket picked. And now they're wrapped up on the floor. Didn't look like they got a timeout off the jump ball.
Look at Drake Gibbs Lawhorn. Drives in, sees the big coming over. I got to get rid of it. And Hamilton does his job and knocks him down.
All tied up between Boise State and UNLV after our first stoppage. For Boise State, it's been an interesting season. This has been such a solid Mountain West program for so long. They started off the year really interestingly, losing to Hawaii Pacific, but then they get a pair of quad one wins against Butler and St. Mary's. It's just been an interesting season, to say the least.
Well, it's the definition of trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
They got no clue, just kind of what they want to do every single game. And I guess a better way to say it is they really are just struggling to figure out what they want to do consistently and go out and execute it on a game-to-game basis. And the 1-4 start in conference play is the most noteworthy given how well they played in the non-con. And you just hope that it doesn't linger too long. You know, you got to really try to figure it out. Now's the night to do it.
And Coach Rice said earlier, you could chop up a bunch of plays of ours throughout the season and say, they look like a top 25 team. He could say you could chop up 25 other plays and, you know, we don't look like a great team.
Yeah.
Up and down season so far for Boise State, just 1-4 in conference play. They only lost 6 Mountain West games all season last year. Fielder down low. Oh, what a move. Oh, can't pay it off.
Got to finish that one. When your footwork's that good and you create such an easy look, got to get the chippies to drop.
Fielder, the junior center who spent 2 seasons at Georgetown, transferred to Boise State in the offseason. There's Fleming through contact over the net. Isaac Williamson has checked into the game and gives Lawhorn. Can't get it to fall. Offensive board UNLV. And it looks like it's staying with the Rebels.
There's a lot of bodies there jumping for the ball. You're not supposed to see UNLV get a ton of offensive rebounds because of how good Boise State is on the defensive glass. We'll talk about this throughout the course of the game. They really do a good job securing defensive rebounds and limiting teams to one possession. But if UNLV can create some second chance opportunities, that'll be crucial for them.
Foul was on Andrew Meadow, Boise State, his first of the game. The rebounding super important for UNLV. Their +10 rebounding margin in wins this season, -8 in losses. Gibbs Lawhorn with 4 on the timer. Can't hit the 3, it's short. Fielder gets the board and gets fouled by Emmanuel Steffen. Steffen has really struggled to stay in games. He's only played 7 games this season. He's fouled out of 3 of them and had 4 fouls in all the others.
Yeah, again, trying to figure it out, right? It's not easy to play the way Coach Passner is asking his team to play and not foul. Okay, he's going to expect his guys to foul. The question is, how disciplined can you be to stay in ball games? Because they need their front court players.
Jacob Benarby, number 10 in white, he checks in for Emmanuel Steffen. Guarding Fielder down low on the block.
That low cross screen to isolate Fielder, give him another chance, and he converts it.
Nice little baby hook by Drew Fielder. He's got 6 points already. There's Al Green in the ball game wearing that face mask today. He broke a bone in his nose last time out against Colorado State. Gives Lawhorn, nice feed to Williamson, who finishes for 2.
It's a great pass out of the double team when that second defender cuts off the baseline drive. As Tyron Jones
gives Lawhorn in transition. And that one's long. Fight for the rebound. Benarby's got it in the corner. Right back to him. Torpedoes down the lane, loses possession, and it was off of Boise State. Aggressive shooting by UNLV so far. Gives Lawhorn just 1 of 5 to start.
See, look at the baseline cutoff, and then Isaac Williamson does the smart thing as his defender completely turns around and just cuts right behind him. And then UNLV, Jacob Benarby doing a good job giving his running Rebels team a second chance.
I know you've been impressed by Williamson so far, just a freshman, but he's looked solid.
I love him. I mean, he doesn't play like a freshman. I said it versus Colorado State. He's so calm, cool, collected, poised, just plays within himself, understands what he's good at, and he doesn't do anything that he might struggle at, and it really helps kind of steady the ship for this UNLV team.
Jones, the freshman from Las Vegas, can't finish. Second chance, he's got it, and 1.
Wow. First of all, he glided through the lane, okay?
I think he floated.
He went through 2 guys, look at, went right through Parolin and Ahrens, and then look at this spring right here on the second effort. Gimme! Doesn't even come down and then draws the foul. He's got 4 guys around him.
Foul on Spencer Ahrens for Boise State. What a fun watch. A 6'9" freshman forward from Las Vegas. Grew up in the area. Then he went to Layton Christian Academy in Utah. He's a 4-star recruit that Josh Pastner was really, really happy to get his past recruiting cycle.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
And Jones finishes it off. On the season, he shoots under 50% from the free throw line. A good start for him, finishing the N1. 3-point lead for UNLV. Here comes Boise State, step back three, and he hits it. Pearson Carmichael, first triple of the game for Boise State.
UNLV wants to try to speed you up with that full court press, but you got to do a good job getting back and not letting Pearson Carmichael shoot the 3-ball. It's what he does best.
And neither of these teams shoot a ton. They're both bottom 5 in the league in 3-point shooting. Benarby down the lane, spin off the glass, and he got fouled.
Now, this is just a good job retreating out, understanding nobody's going to get out on me. Okay, fine. Let me rip it from 3 and get myself on the board. That's just good basketball from a guy that knows what he's best at, and that's shooting the 3-ball.
Foul was on Dominic Parolin. This Boise State team has a handful of guys with potential to shoot threes that haven't done a fantastic job of doing so, but just an area that could lift their ceiling this season. Benarby misses the first one from the line, just a 61% shooter. Redshirt sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska, and the only returner from last year's team. When Coach Pastner took over, he had to bring in 13 new players and essentially build a team in less than 2 weeks. 1-point lead for the Runnin' Rebels, 7 minutes in. There's Carmichael, what a spin, and what a finish off the glass.
And that's just understanding where your defender is. You get that baseline drive, and he's overplaying you towards the sideline. He feels that. He spins off of him and does a nice job converting the layup.
Boise State's made 3 shots in a row. 1-point lead here in the first half. Benarby fights through contact, got fouled again, and he's headed to the line for 2.
Yeah, look at Pearson Carmichael. He blows by Isaac Williamson, but then he feels him overplaying as he catches up. And that's just a quick spin and finish through your chest right on the right side of the hoop. Good start for Carmichael off the bench.
Foul there was on Pearson Carmichael, his first. Benarby has been in and out of the starting lineup. It was pretty much him and Tyron Jones that have rotated throughout this season so far. Coach Pastner was happy to bring him back. Benarby was actually in the transfer portal after last season. He said, you know, we just needed to keep people in the building, and he kept him at UNLV.
Yeah, it took a little convincing, and it's a good thing he's here because he's playing valuable minutes in that front court.
Here's A.G. Nato, the freshman, who dumps it off to Parolin. More post moves off the side of the backboard. You can tell early on Boise State wants to get in the paint. Not this time. 3 from Ahrens is way long. Fight for the rebound, won by the Broncos. It's Carmichael coming away with it. Nato way downtown. Can't hit the 3, shot clock violation. UNLV's ball. When we come back, all right before, we're going to make a quick substitution with Kamani Hamilton coming in and Al Green checking out. UNLV just 5 of 13 from the field. They've struggled to score in some of these games. Only 62 points last time out as Gibbs Lawhorn strip going down the lane. And Boise State will have the ball when we come back in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Well, there's a look at this past season's Mountain West Football Championship with Boise State. Spencer Danielson's squad taking down UNLV, and this is the last year of this being a Mountain West matchup. Boise State is taken off to be a part of the Pac-12. UNLV will stay here in the Mountain West conference that has had a lot of success in this basketball season. UNLV, Boise State, a couple of teams around the middle of the pack trying to get back on track.
Yeah, and it's kind of now or never, right? It can depict your season at this point, you know, 5th conference game for the Runnin' Rebels and the 6th conference game for Boise State. You really want to try to find some rhythm here and establish your place in the conference.
All tied up about 8 minutes into this first half. Boise State got into a solid rhythm on offense. Carmichael outside to Andrews. Now Fielder, big Georgetown transfer. Played 2 seasons for the Hoyas. First one with the Broncos. To the post moves, putting his chest into Bernardi and hitting the fadeaway jumper.
I love that move because that's one-on-one on the left side of the floor with no help side. So Bernardi's got to figure out a way to win that matchup, and Drew Fielder is winning it thus far.
Kamani Hamilton thought about the 3, didn't let it fly. Now trying to post up Carmichael. Bernardi from downtown. Rebound Andrews. The UNLV only shoots 29% from deep. RJ Keene flying down the lane, and he got fouled on his way there.
This is just that one-on-one. Let me go to work in the post. Shot fake, lean, bump, fade, and knocks it down. Those are probably my favorite shots in basketball. When you get in that low post and you can do that little baseline fade on the opposite side. Fielder looks like he's got it rolling from there.
You said it early. These two want to fight for position down low. That's the paint battle to a T.
And we see those bigs fight all night long. Look at, they're doing it right now. Fielder wants that ball on the left side of the wing.
Up top, Carmichael. Parolin wanted it on the roll. 8 on the timer. Parolin from the corner. Rebound Gibbs Lawhorn.
That's that driving kick I talked to you about in the open. Carmichael did a great job getting downhill and then finding the open man, and Parolin just wasn't able to knock it down.
These two have combined 3 of 14 from 3 so far today. Williamson, the mid-range, tried to step forward, and he traveled with that left foot.
Yeah, Drew Fielder is having a field day so far. The hook, shot fake, another hook, gets a friendly roll, and then the one we just talked about, the bump and lean. Kind of looked like Dirk Nowitzki on that without the knee up. He just bumped and quick little 7-foot mid-range jumper.
That's some high praise. We'll call him
I'm not saying he is Dirk, but you know, I got to give a comp every once in a while.
I will say, every time somebody hits a fadeaway jumper and they're a big man, it's all of a sudden Dirk Nowitzki.
Look at his footwork down. Oh, look at the pass. Woo, almost had something there. Sorry to overreact, but I thought Parolin saw it coming. Oh, he had the right idea.
Parolin just wasn't ready for it.
He wasn't ready for it. That was slick.
Well, Fielder's had a solid day, 8 points. The rest of the team only with 9 points on 4 of 11 shooting. UNLV scoreless in its last 2.5 minutes. Gibbs Lawhorn in the corner. Or rather Fleming against Keene. 6 on the shot clock. Spinning. Off the heel, rebound Steffen. Through contact, finishes.
That's what you need from your big fella. Clean up, finish the easy ones. They've done a good job rebounding on the offensive end. That's their 6th offensive rebound already in this game.
5 second chance points for UNLV. The 7-footer Emmanuel Steffen, sophomore from Lagos, Nigeria.
So Boise State has a 24% offensive rebound rating. That's 7th in the nation. What that means is that they are great at preventing teams from getting offensive rebounds. So the fact that this UNLV team already has 6 goes to show how ready to play UNLV is.
Meadow fouled on the way up. Now, we saw them both at shoot-around today. Pretty clear they're both emphasizing rebounding as a part of this matchup.
Yeah, they 100% knew coming into this game it was probably going to be a battle of the boards. Who was going to be able to control the glass? And right now, I mean, that offensive rebounding, you know, UNLV is +2 overall, but the offensive rebounding right now has really helped UNLV keep the game where it's at. I mean, we're all knotted up. It's very early, but.
Tomorrow at 2 Eastern, CBS Sports HQ Spotlight keeps you up to date on all the top stories with highlights and in-depth analysis right here on CBS Sports Network. Foul was on Al Green, his first of the day. Nobody on UNLV with 2 fouls so far, which typically is an issue. This group fouls more than anyone in the Mountain West. They foul more than, well, about over 350 teams in the country.
Yeah, we were joking around with Coach Passner about it because they do such a good job getting to the free throw line and just attacking downhill, but they almost erase all of it with the amount that they put other teams on the line, and it's unfortunate that they can't really separate the margin.
Meadow through contact for 2. Andrew Meadow, the second leading scorer on the team, 12 points a game. The junior forward from Santa Clara. Nice pass inside to Stephan, who spins. The jump hook won't go. Rebound Fielder. 4-point lead for the Broncos. Fielder dumps it down low. Parolin holds up. Against Hamilton, the footwork off the glass. I mean, these Boise State forwards are really dominating the paint.
Yeah, good job finishing from Parolin, but honestly, I think Drew Fielder's got to start to look to take that trail 3.
Floater by Gibbs Lawhorn makes it a 4-point game, his second bucket of the day.
Right, Fielder is 37% from the 3-point line. I mean, yes, you got a 2-pointer, but when you pass up on looks like that, it could hurt you in the long run. He's got to be ready to step into those with confidence.
Andrews against Gibbs Lawhorn. Tossed down low. He was looking for Meadow, who got fouled by Al Green. That's his second.
That's a good high-low. He passed up the 3, and Parolin did a good job getting positioning. Scores it underneath. Gibbs Lawhorn, that between behind, and then a quick floater off the glass. I'll take it.
Just over 7.5 minutes to go. The first half action, Boise State leading UNLV by 4. Noah, you really like the way they played on offense so far.
Yeah, they get this naked side pick and roll here, and you're going to see Fleming Jr. want to come over the top, but watch Emmanuel Stephan over here. He's got to pull over on the tag sooner, because once Fleming Jr. falls, right now he's got to be there on the catch, and he's late, and then Meadows able to go right through his chest and finish through contact.
14 points in the paint for Boise State so far. You know, what are the keys for the bigs, the forwards, to be able to move the ball like that and have the right footwork down low to free up space and get buckets like we've seen?
Yeah, it's huge, and I've really been impressed with just how all the big guys are so fundamentally sound on this Boise State team down low in their ability to play off 2 and really work the pivot. They're not rushing anything down low. It's all about winning the battle of positioning.
Fielder from deep, he launches a 3. Off the rim.
Good.
Rebound UNLV.
Sorry, I get excited because he's got to take them.
Yeah.
He's a good 3-point shooter, and when your bigs can stretch the floor, it changes the dynamic of your offense.
And for a team that's already playing well in the paint, if you can open that up even more with 3-point shooters,
you can blow the lid off of this thing.
It's Lawhorn, tightly guarded by Andrews.
Look at that.
He's having a tough time against him today. Fleming, jumper, won't fall. Fielder on the board. A.G. Nato, the freshman guard in the ball game. Fielder against Stephan. Stephan wins this battle, and here comes Isaac Williamson. Looks like a foul on Boise State. It'll stay with UNLV. That one was on Drew Fielder, his first of the evening.
Yeah, you can't really grab people and whip them to the ground. Oh, who did it? They put their arms up like, who did it? I mean, well, he didn't just fall on his own. I love it. I can't get enough of it when any basketball player in the world does it.
I mean, one of these days, I want to see a ref go, oh, I mean, he didn't think he fouled him, so we'll just take it away.
Yeah, we'll take it away, no problem.
Stephan puts his chest into Fielder and hits the hook with the offhand.
Good job going over that right shoulder and finishing with the left. He's played well today.
Yeah, Stephan only played 12 minutes last time out, and he fouled out. Well, today looked a lot better. 4 points, 3 rebounds, only 1 foul in 10 minutes. There's Meadow down the lane. Williamson snatches the rebound. Gibbs Lawhorn held to just 4 points so far, 2 of 6 shooting. Over the shoulder pass is off the mark. NATO ahead. Andrews at the rim. Finishes in transition.
Isaac Williamson and Greg Gibbs-Lawhorn both down on that play, trying to contest the shot.
It's a small backcourt with Williamson and Gibbs-Lawhorn, but two guys that'll play feisty defense, just 6 foot and 6'1" respectively. They've been a spark for this team.
Yeah, Gibbs-Lawhorn's doing everything he can. You can see when he gets into the paint just how many bodies they're sending to him on the help side, and he struggled to figure it out, but Williamson kind of takes advantage of some not so great help defense getting downhill.
Williamson led the team with 14 points against Colorado State Friday. He's got 4 points and 4 rebounds today. He's the smallest guy on the floor. Meadow, wide open lane.
That's going to be the key for both of these teams. I know we talked a lot about getting downhill and the paint touches with the free throws. If neither of these teams can play consistently good in the help side off the ball, you're going to see a lot of wide open layups like we just saw in the last 2 possessions. So both teams got to do their work early and communicate off the basketball to really be in the right positioning.
Yeah, UNLV last in the Mountain West, allowing 76 points a game. Williamson can't hit the pull-up. Andrews to Ahrens, who hits the 3. Spencer Ahrens, the freshman forward, his first points of the evening.
I like how he shot that with confidence. He didn't think twice. He caught that ball, put it right above his head. There's no way you block it with that high release point.
Gibbs-Lawhorn down the lane, the spin off the glass. 5-point lead for Boise State. Timeout called by Josh Pastor and UNLV.
Dylan Andrews up ahead, finishes through 2. And then Ahrens, how about that trail 3? Step into it, big fella. Bang!
We got a stacked crew coming up on AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Roy Hibbert, and Gary Parrish back in New York. We'll have first half stats and analysis, plus a recap of the night in college hoops. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Let's take a look at Bono's ballers this season. Noah, take it away, man.
Well, Utah State is the mid-major to watch right now. They're finally in the top 25, ranked number 23. They're winning their 5 Mountain West games by an average of 26 points per game. I can't even fathom the number. Illinois is my under-the-radar team. They're ranked 13th in the country, and they have 3 guys averaging 14-plus points per game, so they can really spread it out. And then Cam Boozer. Right now, he's the best player in the country. He should win Player of the Year. And I don't know what it's going to take for him to be looked at among the mock drafts, that he might be number 1 overall. Maybe Duke's got to win the Natty. I don't know. And then my top team is the UConn Huskies here. And a lot of it has to do with me believing in Dan Hurley. He finally has stronger guard play this year than he did last year, and I just don't think his reign of terror is quite done yet.
All right, you have the number 1 pick right now. Tabansa, Peterson, or Boozer? You have to pick.
I like Peterson the most.
Okay, he is an electric watch.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. They're all unbelievable. Honestly, it's like you can't go wrong with either of them. Whatever team has the number 1 overall pick should draft off their need, not off which of those 3 is the best, because it's hard to judge which is the best.
Boise State turns it over. Looked like Pearson Carmichael gave him a push in the back. That's his 2nd foul of the night. Yeah, I mean, we're blessed this college basketball season, that's for sure. There's so much talent. There's so many unbelievable teams. This is such a long stretch of undefeated teams, too. Just so much talent this season.
But last year, you really thought with Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe,
yeah.
You really thought that draft class was like the one. And then you look at this draft class and you're like, when's the last time we've had back-to-back classes that are going to really be up to par with some of the best of all time, assuming these guys really pan out?
And I mean, one of the biggest things there is that it's not even just the top 3. You know, it's Caleb Wilson, it's Kingston Flemings, it's all the depth.
Oh, don't forget about my
3.
man Nate Ament from Tennessee. I've been watching him since he was in the 8th grade, and the fact that he's at where he's at now, and he finally hit the 5-star marker. There's just so much talent, and if you're a scout and you're writing up these guys every single day, kind of keeping tabs on them, it's one of your more fun years you'll have as a professional scout.
Been a fun year in the Mountain West. Here in Vegas, it's Boise State leading UNLV by 3, and you can make it 5 after Andrew Meadow finishes off the window. Meadow leading the way with 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field. Gibbs-Lawhorn, pull-up J, smooth like butter. You
said no, right?
Boise State's made 4 shots in a row off to a 3-point lead. 3.5 to go in the first half. Ball stays here with the Broncos. Boise State shooting 50% from the field so far today. 20 points in the paint. Nato to inbound. Meadow. Way short on the 3. Benarbi with the board. UNLV has gotten into a rhythm too. Rebels have hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Gives Lawhorn. Looking for an outlet. Finds Hamilton. Second leading scorer on the team this season. Fleming. Down the lane. Goes off the right foot and makes it a 1-point game.
It's a good job deviating away from the middle of the floor there when you saw that chest coming to him, able to step over to the right, finished in the open area.
Andrews looking down low, pass swatted away. You know, one thing about UNLV, they will stay in the passing lanes, and you know they've really figured it out on offense a little bit.
That's shot fake, and then that step that they're letting team players get away with now, where you kind of pick up your pivot foot, step off of it. They scored it. Give it to him.
Josh Pastner, such a passionate head coach. That really reflects in this group. You know, we've said it all week. They play so hard.
Yeah, it's a reflection of the coaching. There's no doubt about it. He coaches them hard defensively. And how about that suit? Oh, look at that. Forearm on the back screen, a shoulder. And that's just physical play around the screen there. Obviously, you're going to get called for it when you do 3 bumps in one play. But Howie Fleming Jr. understands his role on this team, and when shots aren't falling, he's got to bring it on the defensive end.
Meadow can't hit on the 1-and-1. Gives Lawhorn with the crossover. Hamilton down the lane. Can't finish and get to the line for an and-1, so instead he'll shoot a pair. Foul on A.G. Nato, the freshman guard. Josh Pastner's group off to a 7-8 start on the season. They played a really tough non-conference schedule. They played 4 teams from last year's tournament: Montana, Memphis, Maryland, Alabama. They played the NIT champions Chattanooga, St. Joe's, and Stanford also. Some solid teams, and they've fallen down the middle of the standings a little bit. This is kind of a crucial time for these teams to make sure they don't get left in the dust.
I think so. I mean, Boise State, I don't think they thought they'd be third to last 5 games into the season. Again, a lot can change. They could finish in the top half. There's no doubt about it. But I really do think that you got to start putting some pressure on these games and knowing that you've dropped your first 4. There's not many more you can give away.
10-2 run for UNLV. They take a 1-point lead. Andrews pulls up and knocks down the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, his second mid-range of the day. That one off the bounce. And he just shot it with confidence. A lot of times guys, point guards, they feel good off their pickup when the ball's on the ground. They're able to get into a different type of rhythm when they shoot the pull-up. Did a good job there finding his confidence. Something he has clearly struggled with.
Hamilton from downtown. This UNLV team just 2 of 10 from 3. Not their specialty, just 29% on the season. Fielder alone down low until he gets fouled.
Yeah. Well, that's just late getting over. Walter Brown kind of shifted his weight, trying to get back, and Dylan Andrews knows, I'm just going to take this mid-range and keep it simple, play into his strengths. But that possession there, I mean, you get Fielder on an island with Gibbs Lawhorn, and Walter Brown did the right thing pulling over and just fouling him, because if he didn't foul him when he did, he wasn't going to have good position himself to kind of wall up there, and Fielder was going to score over the top of Gibbs Lawhorn and maybe even get an and-1. So good decision by Walter Brown to put him on the free throw line. Just a 71% free throw shooter.
Fielder's been so important for this Boise State team. This is a guy that grew up in Boise, Idaho. Went to Rocky Mountain High about 25 minutes from here. Played the end of his high school career at Southern California Academy. Then he left, went to Georgetown, was there for 2 years. Coach Rice said, you know, he thought it was good for him to leave for a little bit, you know, get out of his hometown, and then come back here for his junior year. Williamson scorching down the lane to tie the game. Timeout, Leon Rice and Boise State. We'll be right back after the break here on CBS Sports Network. tie game. Minute and 41 seconds to go in the first half here at Thomas and Mack Center. The UNLV has been very solid at home this season in conference play. They beat Air Force as well as Fresno State, average margin of 20 points. Struggled on the road. They played Wyoming and Colorado State, two of the conference's best. This is a solid conference in general. I mean, you don't have many freebies in there.
No, hardly any freebies. Every night's going to be a battle, and every game's going to be super important. So you can't just play good on your home floor. You got to figure out a way to bring it on the road trips as well.
Well, Boise State trying to make sure they don't drop 4 in a row in the Mountain West for the first time since 2019. In a tie ball game, minute and a half to go in the first. Andrews tries to cross over, gets crossed up himself. 8 on the shot clock. R.J. Keene. Fielder and Andrews tied up. And Andrews was fouled on the dribble by Isaac Williamson. He's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1.
That's a nightmare for your defense. 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and you can't play straight up on the drive. Andrews did not really have anywhere to go, assuming Williamson can just slide a half a second earlier and react to that drive. You wall up, force him into a tough one. Now you give him free throws in a tie ball game.
Andrews, a great free throw shooter, leads the team at 86% this season.
Drew Fielder looked like he might have turned his ankle a little bit on that crash to the glass.
He grabbed that right ankle briefly, and looks like Coach Rice isn't going to take any chances. He's going to swap in Spencer Aarons right away.
A little hobble off the court there from Fielder.
Fielder's got 9 points, 3 rebounds today, leading scorer and leading rebounder on the season. Great start for Dylan Andrews today. He's got 8 points, perfect from the free throw line. He's bounced back well after a couple of tough games recently.
Yeah, and a lot of it started with him knocking down that first shot. It's always good to see the first one go down, but he's had a good intensity to him on the defensive end of the floor. He's really been giving it to Drake Gibbs-Lawhorn in those one-on-one matchups, and honestly, he's gotten the best of him most of the time. So you see Drew Fielder there.
It looked like between Gibbs-Lawhorn and Tyron Jones, somebody might have stepped on his foot.
That right ankle.
A good sign already back in the ball game after Aarons is called for his second foul.
And that's just a retape in the locker room at halftime. Tape that bad boy up, you get back out there. He'll be all right.
Howie Fleming Jr. knocks down the first free throw. A 6th-year guard from Louisville, Kentucky, who's on his 4th school in those 6 years. Started at Illinois State, then Winthrop, UT Rio Grande Valley last year. Now his final destination being UNLV.
What a trip, man.
Yeah, all around the nation. Illinois, Winthrop, wow. And Fleming hits the pair to tie the game. Game has been tied 9 times. We've had 9 lead changes.
So you're saying we got a really good basketball game. How about that?
I think so. I think we do. Under a minute to go. Tied at 37. First half action. This late night Mountain West hoops. Andrews. Jones is trying to reach in. Poked out of bounds. Staying with Boise State. This pesky UNLV team trying to get everywhere on you.
It's hands in those passing lanes. That's what UNLV does. 9 steals per game. One of the top teams in the country at stealing the basketball. And a lot of it's got to do with just the peskiness, as you would say, Jack Gordon.
Yes, that is my name. Thank you. 4 on the shot clock. Andrews. Can't hit it. Jones skies for the rebound. Here come the running Rebels. To the corner. Fleming. He connects for 3, and UNLV takes the lead. Gotta have it. Coach Pastner trying to fire up this team, fire up the Thomas and Mack Center. He's playing defense out there. Andrews, 7 on the clock. Keene, down low, wide open. Parolin finishes off the glass. 1-point game heading into the locker room. You see both sides of it right there. UNLV in transition, Boise State points in the paint.
Just that high middle ball screen gets downhill, and there's no one there on the tag. Tyron Jones kind of just loses sight of Parolin, and they're able to cut it to 1 going into the half.
Back and forth, the pendulum swings in Las Vegas. We've reached halftime with UNLV leading Boise State 40-39. A high-flying, high-scoring affair so far. This Mountain West matchup will be back. Coming up after the break, we'll get you back to Brent Stover and the guys in New York with AT&T at the half here on CBS Sports Network. Back in the Sin City for some late-night Mountain West hoops. So 1-point game between Boise State and UNLV. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in with Noah Bono. I'm Jack Gordon. Happy to have you with us. Noah, 10 ties, 10 lead changes, such a back-and-forth game that's swinging, and it's been so close so far.
Every metric is pretty much one-off from these two teams. I think we're really in store for a game that's going to come right down to the wire, which is exciting.
You've had your eye on a couple of offensive players, including Andrew Meadow.
Well, Andrew Meadow, early 10 points in that first half on 4 of 8 from the floor. He's kind of done it defensively, translating to the offensive end through the contact there. He's been instrumental alongside Drew Fielder. But Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn's been the guy. A season-high 6 assists. He's gotten to the cup a couple times, 10 points on the 4 of 8 as well. But really, it's the playmaking. Look at the downhill drive, draw 2 defenders, and kick it for 3. He's been doing it all game, and it's going to be huge down the stretch for him to keep moving the ball and getting his guys involved.
How about the points in the paint? Only 2 different. That's what you said at the beginning. This was going to be just a rock fight, slugfest down low. UNLV winning the rebounding battle right now. Boise State.
Yeah, but I really think that 3-point number is going to be the key there. Who's going to be able to knock down more in this second half is going to win the ball game.
Boise State without one of its best players, Javen Buchanan, averaging almost 12 and 5 this season. He's out with a lower body injury. Got knocked around a couple of times last game against Utah State. Around a couple of times. They're going to keep him out today. Even without him, they've shot 50% from the field. Only down by 1. Just look at Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn. He's been fantastic. Like Noah said, 10 points and a season high 6 assists for him so far. Well, Boise State's trying to make sure they don't drop 4 straight in the Mountain West. UNLV, they don't want to lose 3 in a row. A crucial point in this Mountain West schedule for the Broncos and Runnin' Rebels. Great first half on offense for both squads. How does the second half look? Howie Fleming misses the 3, and there's a foul on the floor. It's going to stay with UNLV. Both teams had 9 fouls in the first half. The UNLV commits the 6th most fouls per game of any school, so 9 in the first half is actually off their season pace. Not bad.
Well, it's great for them that they didn't get him in the double bonus, and they were really able to play their physical brand of defense and do it without fouling.
This foul was on Drew Fielder, his 2nd of the game. Gives Lawhorn to the cup.
If he's doing both, if he's scoring and playmaking, no matter who's out there for UNLV, they're going to have a chance if he's able to do both like he's done tonight.
5th in the Mountain West, scoring over 16 points per game. He's been in double digits 12 straight times. Fielder down low. They went to this a lot in the first half. And he's fouled by Kamani Hamilton, his 2nd.
And this is just one-on-one blow-by, up and under through the help side for his 11th and 12th point of the night. I just love watching him get downhill. Like he's one of those guys on the ball that just, he's so slithery through the paint. He's had his troubles with Dylan Andrews guarding him, but he's also won some of the battle as well.
And at just 6'1", he's finishing over guys that are 6'11", like Drew Fielder, who floats it up and in.
How about that? Offhand, off foot, little runner down the lane. That's a ridiculous shot to have in your bag.
11,
the big fella.
Yeah, 11 points for Fielder. That's his 12th game in double digits this season. He only had 12 games in double digits in his entire Georgetown career over 2 seasons.
Look, you're playing back on him. This is just a simple left-right runner, and by the time he gets it up out of his hand, Emmanuel Steffen is late to contest. How about that? I love that touch.
Boise State foul was on R.J. Keene, his second. Hamilton comes up with it. Hamilton's been quiet these past 2 games. Only 5 points today. Pulls up for the jumper. Can't knock it down. Had a season-low 3 points last time out. They really need him to step up and score.
They do. They need his offense. Without that second scoring punch consistently coming from him, it's got to come from somewhere. And with him struggling, it definitely makes it harder on this UNLV offense. There's no doubt about it.
Foul on UNLV will send Dylan Andrews to the free throw line. That one was on Emmanuel Steffen, his second of the night. Andrews with 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, perfect 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. Ties the game at 42 here, a minute and a half in. And Boise State's off to a rough start in conference play, and you know what, it's understandable why. Their 5 conference games have been against the 5 best teams in the Mountain West in Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, Grand Canyon, and Utah State.
Yeah, and I don't want to make it sound like it's do or die, but like they really need to win tonight. You know, like you just don't want to drop your 4th in a row and your 5th in conference play. I just think that's when you're like the confidence. You know, Coach Rice talked about it after the San Diego State game, how much they were sort of rattled and coming off that triple overtime game. It was just an absolute dogfight that they had to recover from. And now you're going on to game number 3 since San Diego State, and at some point the tide's got to turn for you.
Foul on the floor on Boise State. That one on Dylan Andrews, his first of the night. Yeah, that San Diego State game was unbelievable on January 3rd. 110-107, triple overtime. It's the only game Boise State has lost this year when scoring over 70 points. And when they hit the 70-point mark this year, they're 8-1.
Well, we're well on pace for more than 70 points tonight.
Gives Lawhorn. Floats it a little long. Keene snatches the rebound. Andrews playing up tempo. Pass picked. Jones trying to keep it in. He does, and it's off the fingertips. Coach Passman.
I saw him coming for me. I swear I saw him coming right for me.
All 6'9" of them. What a hustle play. It's everybody on this roster.
No, because it's how they're taught. It's, if you don't want to try hard, you're not going to play. And that right there is what Coach Passner preaches. If you see a loose ball, you better get your butt on it. And Tyron Jones is the epitome of that on the defensive end of the floor for Coach Passner.
Fielder down low. We've seen the post moves today. And Steffen with great defense. Fleming. Steffen down low. Finishes off the glass for 2 and takes the lead. You know, when he can stay in the game, he can be a game changer.
Reward the big fella. You make a play on defense, let me get you 2 on offense. They did just that for Emmanuel Steffen.
Sophomore transfer from Arizona. Only started playing basketball in 2019 in Lagos, Nigeria. Andrew Meadow, leading scorer for Boise State. He's got 12 points. Williamson through the trees. Pass picked off by Keene. In transition, picked off by Gibbs Lawhorn, and it'll stay with Boise State. Now, they don't make anything easy.
Yeah, I thought Howie Fleming might have dropped it off a little too late to Steffen, but because he had the size advantage over R.J. Keene, he's able to go up with it. And then how about Andrew Meadow? Just threw 2 guys strong off the glass.
Meadow, second on the team, scoring 12 points a game this year. Former 3-star recruit in high school. Played on LeBron's AAU team with Bronny James back in the day.
He was on the Blue Chips. That's what it was called, or am I messing that name up?
It was, Meadow played for Strive for Greatness.
Oh, Strive for Greatness, the EYBL team, okay.
Blue Chips was when they were young.
When they were young, yeah. I didn't know if that's when if you were saying way back.
It doesn't look like it was goaltending. Foul sends Meadow to the line. Second one on Isaac Williamson. Well, I mean, there probably wasn't much pressure on Meadow on that team. All the eyeballs were on somebody with the last name James.
Yeah, and that's never going away. But it's probably was nice for Meadow to kind of benefit from the eyeballs with all the coaches that came to those Bronny James games.
Third year at Boise State. Played every game this season. Last year started all but 2 games and He's also second on the team in scoring. Shot 35% from deep on 4.5 threes, and he's up that to 40% this year. Another guy that, you know, Leon Rice has been able to keep around. He's got 5 returners in this group that have built and gotten better year by year.
A lot of it has to do with Andrew Meadows' frame. I mean, he's 6'7", 220. He can do a lot on the floor. He's not a one-dimensional guy. His ability to play off the bounce and then even shoot from the outside, it makes him a hard player to guard.
Gives Lawhorn on the curl. Williamson, not enough space. 5 on the shot clock. Gives Lawhorn. Off the mark. Here comes Keene again. Drop off pass to Andrews. Now to the corner.
Good team.
Hamilton. Still just 1 of 4 from the field. Kicks out Williamson from deep. And he buries it to tie the game.
I heard a subtle "let's go" in my ear as Isaac Williamson lined that one up, and he laced that bad boy.
4 of 5 from the field, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Just a freshman, and one that Coach Pastner's super excited about. I mean, between him and Tyron Jones, nice solid young core. Meadow down the lane over Steffen.
Tyron Jones has got to stick a foot in the paint. He's got long enough length. He doesn't need to come off the strong side corner. You never want to do that and give up the open 3, but he's long enough that he's got to stick a hand in there on that dribble drive from Andrew Meadow.
Jones, make up for it on offense, yes!
Woo! He's got game, man. Just downhill, shoulder, length, touch.
Jones started each of the last 6 games, averaging about 14 points, 5 rebounds in that stretch. There's Spencer Aarons, the freshman. Steps through, and Steffen with great defense again. Knocked out of bounds, staying with the Broncos.
Andrew Meadows, 16 points. Bump, get off me. You don't want to step over, I'm going to score it every time. And then Tyron Jones gets his lick back on the other end over Meadow.
Well, there's passionate, there's fiery, then there's Josh Pastner. Tie ball game, a little over 5 minutes into this second half. If you want to feel good, you know, you got to look good. If you want to look good, feel good, and coach good, you got to dress like these guys.
You're telling me that Josh Pastner doesn't look 10 times better and more respectable screaming at you in a suit than if he was in the quarters? And listen, I'm going to be pro suit for the rest of my life when it comes to the coaches on the side. Look at Rick Pitino in the all white.
I mean, that's a guy that looks like he should be coaching in Old Vegas back in, you know, 1968.
And then Buzz Williams and Dennis Gates and Mick Cronin.
How about the 3-piece suits, Cronin and Buzz?
Yeah, they put the vest on too. Obviously, Coach Cal, Danny Hurley, they don't rock the ties, but they still got their coats on. They got that big game feel on the sidelines. All I'm saying with my suit argument is I miss it. I just there's so not enough suits that we're allowed to miss them at this point.
It's a lost art in college basketball. Foul on Trey Gibbs, Lawhorn, trying to deflect the pass.
Well, you made a good point earlier when we were leaving about just like what, because there was a pandemic, you know, we don't have to wear suits anymore.
Right. I mean, you know, the coaches stopped wearing suits when the pandemic hit in 2020.
Was it because there was no fans here that they were like, you know what, we don't have to dress to impress anymore? Like, I don't, whatever it was, let's just act like it never happened.
Offensive foul. Isaac Williamson is down, and he pulls himself back off the mat. Foul on Dominic Parolin, who it looked like he got pushed in the back.
Yeah, a little forearm shove there, subtle, but he got him. And he's big, so.
I mean, it is interesting that the suits stopped because of the pandemic. I don't quite understand that reason. And speaking of the pandemic, it was funny that Coach Pastner said earlier. He said he is most famous for the face shield he wore at Georgia Tech. Not the 5 NCAA tournaments and the conference championships, but the face shield he wore.
He did it all in a suit.
Williamson, 8 on the timer. Gives Lawhorn, fouled by A.G. Nato. That's his first of the night.
I just think the pressure that Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn is putting on this Boise State defense to stay in front of him, but not only stay in front of the one-on-one matchups, but to pull the help side off of these perimeter UNLV players. He's making plays, and it's going to come down to UNLV being able to knock down some more three-pointers here from the outside.
Running Rebels 4 of 14 from deep, 29%. That's exactly the same as their season average. Gives Lawhorn nice crossover inside, right to left finish.
That's how you split a ball screen and get downhill and manipulate the defense, and then the up and under, right to left to go to that left side finish. He's talented, man.
Inside feed, Nato gives Lawhorn right there to pick his pocket, and he draws the foul.
Look at the fire. That's what you need from your point guard. Look at it. He wants this crowd to start revving it up. You engage your teammates with that type of play. And then there you go, recovering, getting on the loose ball, and then drawing the foul as Parolin gets underneath him.
He started off a little bit slow, but I mean, he's having a day right now. 14 points, season high, 6 assists. He's also got a steal to go with it. Third foul on Dominic Parolin right there, the 6th-year forward. 2-point lead for UNLV. Williamson kicks to the corner, Hamilton. Gibbs Lawhorn from deep. He knocks it down. What a day for Gibbs Lawhorn.
Oh yeah, that's called feeling yourself. That's a guy that just totally lost in the game right now. And you love to see a player locked into that type of zone. I think we're only going to get more out of him tonight.
Fielder down low. 7 foot against 6'11", and he got bumped by Steffen. Third foul for the center.
Yeah, look at, he sinks in Nato, and it's just a simple catch and shoot 3 on the wing. And Nato was way too far off of him. Not that he's shot it that well from deep tonight. He's just 1 of 5. It's actually his first triple of the evening, but you can't play that far off of him when he's got it going like that.
7-0 run for UNLV over the last 2 minutes. And that ends on a Spencer Aaron slam.
Yeah, sleeping on the back door. Good job taking advantage of it for Boise State.
UNLV has made its last 4 shots. Jones crosses over. Down the lane.
Too much
Doesn't
traffic
draw the
there.
foul. A lot of traffic down low. And it'll stay with UNLV.
You look at this. I mean, Hamilton doesn't pay attention to what's behind him because he's looking that way, right? And so once that ball's inbounded, that's just a simple back screen to the rim, an easy dunk.
Boise State with 9 assists on 20 made shots. Gibbs Lawhorn, jump stop. Can't get it to go. Keen's on the board. Stolen away. Jones. Oh, Hamilton! He just brought the house down.
Wow! You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming, too, on that cut.
Kamani Hamilton drops a hammer. 5-point lead UNLV. Foul on Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, his 3rd. Holy cow.
That's what does it. Defense to offense. Get out of my way, RJ Keen. Wow.
He had bad intentions, and all you can do is ooh and ah at a beautiful dunk like that from Hamilton.
You feel the vibration in the arena right now. The crowd cannot get over it.
Carmichael down the lane. Gets bumped, no foul. Bernardi on the rebound. The Rebels are feeling it right now. 5-point lead. 8 minutes inside of this second half. Crucial point in this season. Boise State doesn't want to drop 4 in a row in conference. UNLV, they don't want to lose 3 in a row. Gibbs Lawhorn.
Moving.
Offensive foul on UNLV. It'll go Boise State's way after the break.
And Tyron Jones gets the steal and flips it to Kamani Hamilton, who says, "Not today, young fella. Give me that rim." Boom.
Five-point lead for UNLV over Boise State. after Kamani Hamilton threw down one of the Mountain West dunks of the year. Might be a little too powerful for his own good. Got a little scratched up after the fact, getting some elbow tape. Holy cow, what a dunk. Take it off from long distance away. Hamilton throws it down. A little bit of blood right inside his elbow. You can see right above that black tape.
Well, he didn't honey dip it like Vince Carter, so I mean, somebody must have got him, but I don't think the rim damaged him. I think he damaged the rim.
UNLV 5 of its last 7. 5-point lead. Takes the bandage off, says not to the heck with it. Who cares? Both teams shooting over 50% right now, well above their season averages. And a high-scoring game that, you know, we didn't necessarily expect. Kind of thought this was going to be a rock fight, and it was early on.
Yeah, but I think you can still have a rock fight and put some points on the board. You know, both teams competing on the defensive end, but really, you know, both their field goal percentages, like you mentioned. I think the thing standing out right now is the fact that UNLV has managed to be +9 from the three-point department. They've hit 3 more three-pointers than Boise State.
Andrews inside, over the attempt from Jones to block it, but doesn't get it to fall. Here's Gibbs Lawhorn. He'll slow it down. As UNLV team wants to run with pace. 15 seconds per possession. That's 26th in D1, one of the fastest in the country. Turnaround jumper, no good. Pearson Carmichael on the rebound. Boise State trailing by 5. Carmichael cuts it to 3. They're just going about their business in the paint. 32 of 53 points from the painted area.
Yeah, and if you're not going to shoot it well from the outside, you got to stick to what you're good at, which is getting downhill. And if UNLV's help's not going to be there, you have to take advantage of it.
But Benarby didn't see it. Miscommunication, and Gibbs Lawhorn saves the day. Ball swatted out of bounds by Boise State, and it's staying with UNLV.
Yeah, see, Ahrens isn't going to pull over anymore because his man is in that strong side corner, and you got to be careful for the kick for 3 there.
Yeah, UNLV only scored 62 points last time out. What have you seen differently today?
I think they're playing more in their speed of the game, where we're up and down and we're more efficient. So now, you know, you're able to put more points on the board. They're averaging close to 80 points per game. That's how they want to play. Colorado State obviously just did a better job keeping the game slower the other night, because that's how they play.
Fielder got tied up. Gibbs Lawhorn had quite the reaction. Boise State side wanted a technical foul on. And that's Gibbs Lawhorn's 4th foul.
And that hurts. And I don't know if there was contact.
Not a foul, actually, just the jump ball.
Okay, that's the right call then.
He didn't want the play to be stopped. That was the issue. Fielder against Benarby. Draws a foul. Fielder already with 11 points, 3 rebounds today. He's going to go to the line.
Yeah, I think you got to figure out a way to get him more involved. I mean, we're 10 minutes into this half, and he only has 2 points so far in the half. I just think the 9 points in the first half, I know he rolled his ankle towards the end of the first half, but he's your best player. Andrew Meadows playing great, but I really think they got to lean into what Fielder can give them and trust him offensively every time down. He can make a play, whether he's playmaking out of that post or he's working the low block and scoring down low. Obviously, we saw he can shoot the 3-ball as well, so I think it's going to be crucial to get him involved more and more down the stretch here.
Especially without Javen Buchanan, third leading scorer on the team. Fielder knocks down the pair. 1-point game, 10 minutes to go in this late night Mountain West clash. Gibbs Lawhorn closely guarded by Andrews, who plays tough defense. He said that's the biggest reason he came to Boise State. He loves Coach Rice's defensive mindset. 10 to go. Double teams. Gibbs Lawhorn to Benarby. Down the lane, swatted away by Fielder. Great defense at the cup. Defense to offense. An offensive foul. That one's on Fielder, third foul for the big man.
Drew Fielder down there doing his job, walling up. Good job getting his fingertips on that one. And then Isaac Williamson, get set, young fella, and take a hit. Does a good job putting his body on the line and preventing that two from Drew Fielder.
Three fouls for Williamson, Steffen, Gibbs, Lawhorn. On the Boise State side, it's Aarons, Fielder, as well as Parolin with 3 fouls.
And Kamani Hamilton with a nice bucket there, getting downhill to his strong point. He's up to 9 points on the night.
Well, Fielder can't finish an open look. And here come the running Rebels again. Gibbs Lawhorn going 100 miles an hour down the lane, and he gets fouled. That's something you wanted to see out of him more, just getting the ball going.
Just go. And that one's a tricky one because when he went there, he knew he was going into 2 guys. So the only outcome there was to draw a foul, which is what he was able to do. But there was a couple times in the first half where he looked like he wanted to speed it up, and the defense wasn't set, and he opted to slow down. And in those situations when he looks like he's got a big on him, he's got to take advantage of it. And that one, a little risky.
Timeout by Boise State. 3-point game. We'll be right back after the break. Beautiful night in Las Vegas, Nevada. Perfect night for some Mountain West hoops. Well, CBS Sports Network's coverage of college hoops continues tomorrow at 6 Eastern. An A-10 showdown between VCU and Richmond. Then catch more Mountain West mayhem as Wyoming hosts San Diego State at 8, followed by Nevada taking on number 23 Utah State at 10. Yeah, that's the Utah State team that's in the top 25 right now. They have been so impressive this season at 14-1.
Yeah, they really have, and they're making a name for themselves in conference play so that they may not need to even win the Mountain West tournament to get in to the big dance. Obviously, you want to win every game you can, regular season tournament, but they've been phenomenal.
And Jake Heidbreeder, incredible against Colorado State with those 23 points. Jake Hall has been fantastic for New Mexico. It's a deep league. These are 2 teams right in the middle of it, trying to make sure they don't fall down those standings. Boise State just 1-4 in the Mountain West. UNLV is 2-2 in conference play. But Dre Gibbs Lawhorn is at the line shooting 2 after a foul on Pearson Carmichael of Boise State. What a night so far for Gibbs Lawhorn. You know, they've given him the car keys and he's taking control.
Yeah, and it has not been easy. I mean, he's had to really, really work for the 18 points and the 6 assists. Like, Dylan Andrews has done a great job on him. The help side, for the most part, has been where it's needed to be. I mean, he's got 19 points. He's taken 16 shots, right? So it's not like he's been the most efficient. It's not that inefficient, but he's really, really had to work for what he's gotten tonight, and it's been huge for the running Rebels.
One thing to keep an eye on, Gibbs Lawhorn does have 3 fouls. See if he can avoid getting further into foul trouble. Nice look to Fielder. Up to the hoop, got fouled on his way there by Kamani Hamilton. His 3rd foul.
Yeah, Emmanuel Steffen's got to be careful overplaying those passing lanes that far away from the basket. He was going for a gamble, and then he puts his teammate in a really bad position having to come over and foul like that, because he's so out of position.
You know, what's the best way to learn those types of defensive principles over time? Because Steffen, new to the game, like we talked about earlier, started playing basketball in 2019 in Nigeria. Those are some small details. Yeah. How do you figure those out over time?
The best thing, and I'm sure Coach Passner has drilled this into his head, is just 2-on-2 ball screen coverage. You have, you know, him and the guy he's guarding in practice, and then the 2 guards. And you're just constantly going through the scheme, whether it's a blitz, a hedge, an ice, you know, a show, a drop, whatever it is. You just have to hammer and drill down those reps in practice over the summertime.
4-point lead for UNLV, just under 8.5. Gibbs Lawhorn loses it. Now to Fleming. Down the lane. Can't get it to fall. Fight for the rebound. And A.G. Nato comes away with it. Dancing along the sideline, gives it up to Fielder, and here come the Broncos. Andrews thought he had a lane, but didn't. Fielder from downtown, short. Gibbs Lawhorn with the board. Williamson, young freshman, 9 points today. Loses it. 9 turnovers for UNLV, same amount as Boise State. Hasn't been a huge factor today. Meadow, he's been the leading scorer for the Broncos. Nice spin and a beautiful hook.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful there when Gibbs Lawhorn's on an island in the post. You may want to know right away we got to send a second body and then let our defense rotate out of it. I mean, I don't not trust Gibbs Lawhorn, but I think if you're Coach Pastner, you want to see that ball get passed out of that post.
On defense like that, when you have 3 fouls, you think he's playing just a little skittish?
All the more reason to send another body, right? Yeah. Help him out, make another UNLV player make the mistake if you end up fouling, but really it's just to get the ball out of his hands.
A great move by Andrews to get to the cup and tie the game at 60 apiece. Timeout by UNLV, running Rebels taking a break here in a tie ball game.
Hey man, you want to put the little guy on me? I'm going to take full advantage. He's had it rolling all night. And then Dylan Andrews downhill, good seal by Drew Fielder, and he finishes with that inside hand. If you didn't catch it in live time, watch Drew Fielder seal his man right here. He gives you a block. Hey, Dylan Andrews, come on over to the rim. I'll clear it out for you. He does just that with just putting his butt on him, opens up the lane, and all Dylan Andrews had to do was keep that half step that he had on Isaac Williamson, and it's an easy 2 points for Boise State's point guard.
I mean, those are the small details this team is really good at. You know, they're well coached, and they do little things like that so well.
Yeah, and Drew Fielder clearly he's an IQ guy, right? Like he's one of, if not their best player offensively, but those are the type of plays off the basketball where you know as a big, like, wait, I could help my guard out by just sticking my butt out a little bit and open up the lane. Okay, like that's all the brain power of your basketball IQ.
Tied at 60, 14 ties, 14 lead changes. Back and forth game here in the Mountain West. Tyron Jones can't finish. Here comes Boise State. UNLV just one of its last 8. Parolin finishes through contact from Steffen. Dominic Parolin in the starting lineup today, filling in for the injured Javen Buchanan. He's at 6 points and 6 rebounds. Gibbs Lawhorn can't get it to fall. Second chance, can't finish that either.
You see Fielder down there trying to seal.
Fielder gets the pass from Nato, and it was tapped out of bounds. UNLV ball.
Yeah, and that's just a beautiful hit ahead. Your guys running the floor, give him the basketball, and let him work out. And he does a good job getting back positioning from under the hoop and scoring the right-handed layup. I love those hit-ahead passes. They're so important to get the ball out in front.
Gibbs Lawhorn wide open over the middle. Great feed from Tyron Jones.
Oh, he needed that drop that he got there. Good cut off the basketball, good find, and then a lucky little bounce.
5th 20-point game for Ray Gibbs Lawhorn this season. Meadow down the lane. Wow, he's got it and the foul.
Well, the help on the dribble drive came late. You'll see it on the replay. There's nobody here. Watch when the help finally comes, because Howie Fleming doesn't come, and then Kamani Hamilton's put in a bad position underneath the basket. That's not his responsibility. You see Howie Fleming, he's got to at least step over. Again, he's on the strong side corner. You don't want to give up that corner 3, but you can't give him that open of a lane downhill. Andrew Meadows had it rolling at the basket all night. He's got 20.
Yeah, 2-point game, 5.5 to go. Meadow has been a huge reason Boise State has been in the lead for a lot of this one. You know, without Buchanan, he's stepped up 21 points. His season high this year is 25. It was against San Diego State in triple overtime.
Look at this zone that they're in. Boise State defense.
Fleming from deep. Rimmed out. Battle for possession, foul on UNLV.
This is going to be the hardest thing, depending on how long Boise State decides to stay in that zone, is rebounding the basketball. Because you're not matched up to a man, you got to find a body when the shots go up. But Coach Rice wants to force this running Rebels team into some tough threes from the outside, given that they're just 2 for 7 from downtown in the half and 5 of 18 overall from 3.
Foul was actually on Dominic Parolin of Boise State. That's his 4th foul. Fielder checks back in, Parolin to the bench, and Emmanuel Steffen at the line for a 1-and-1.